Every year, my father takes one of his children fishing. I am 41, and I have packed a bag 11 times. 11 times I sat by the front door at 5 a.m. with my rod and my thermos, and 11 times he came down the stairs, looked at me, and said the same thing. Not this year, son. Next year. Then he'd take one of my sisters instead, or my little brother. Once he took a cousin, never me. I stopped asking why when I was a teenager. I decided he just didn't like me, and I built my whole adult life around that quiet fact. Then last Tuesday he called. Pack a bag, he said. It's your turn. He's 78 now. His hands shake. I almost said no out of spite, but something in his voice was different, flat and final, so I drove up to the lake house. We loaded the boat at 6 a.m. He barely spoke. Out on the water, he cut the engine, let us drift, and stared at the tree line for a long time. You know your brother Danny drowned right here, he said. 26 years ago. I know, Dad. I was at the funeral. You know what nobody knows. He kept his eyes on the water. He didn't drown. The lake was very quiet. I felt my heartbeat in my ears. What are you saying? Danny found the paperwork. The second account, the one in Reno. He was going to tell your mother everything. My father's jaw worked. We argued out here. He stood up in the boat. I pushed him. He hit his head on the motor and went under, and I let him go. I couldn't move. You killed Danny. It was an accident that I chose not to fix, he said. There's a difference and there isn't. And the trips, I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. Every year, you took one of us out here. I took each of you to see if I could do it. Confess. Look one of my kids in the eye and say it out loud. He turned to me. Every year, I got you to the door and I couldn't. You look the most like him. I could never get you in the boat. So why now? Because I'm dying, he said. Pancreas. Weeks, they think. And I decided the one I could never tell was the one who deserved to hear it. He spread his shaking hands. So there. Now you know. It dies with us. He said it so calmly. Like the confession was a gift he was handing me instead of a weight he was setting down on my chest. Your sisters think I'm a good man, he went on. I'd like to keep it that way when I'm gone. You'll let me keep that. You always were the soft one. He reached for the cooler. Beer? Dad, I said. I need you to say his name again. And what you did. I didn't hear the first part. He frowned. Danny. I pushed Danny and I let him drown. Why are you just needed it clean? I said, and I unzipped the front pocket of my bag and turned it so he could see the phone inside. Screen lit, the red dot, the timer running. 19 minutes. His face didn't change for a second. Then it did, all at once, like ice going out on a pond. You recorded me. I've recorded every call you've made this week. I stood up, careful the way you stand in a boat. You want to know why you could never get me out here, Dad? It wasn't your guilt. It was mine. Danny called me the night before he died. He told me about Reno. He told me he was scared to be alone with you. I picked up the oar and laid it across my knees. I told him to go on the trip. I've spent 26 years knowing I sent him to you, son. So every year you'd say next year, and every year I was relieved because I didn't think I could sit in this boat with you and not do something. This year I finally could. I just needed you to talk first. He lunged for the phone, his shaking hands. I moved it easy. One step back, and he went down hard onto the bench, gripping the rail. They'll never, it's a phone, it's your word. They'll say I was confused. I'm a sick old man. You didn't confess to me, I said. The lake house line has been forwarding to Sergeant Ruiz since Tuesday. Every voicemail you left thinking you were calling me, he's got 19 minutes of you on the water saying his name. I nodded at the shore. He's been at the boat launch since we pushed off. My father followed my eyes. There was a car there. There had been the whole time, a small dark shape between the pines, and I watched him understand that it had been there before we ever untied the rope. Row us in, Dad, I said, and I sat back down and picked up my rod. You always said the trip's not over till somebody catches something.